Swallowed Star 548 Newbie Luo Feng. Chapter 548 Newbie Luo Feng. Translator, Translation Nation Editor, Translation Nation. At the end of the Heavenly Bridge's 8th level, Luo Feng looked at the floating meteorite. Every 3 levels of the bridge is a breakthrough level. However, towards the end, it gets harder and harder, like the levels 19, 20, and 21. Passing the 21st would make one a knight, an eternal being on the same level as the universe country leader. The 20th and 21st levels are incredibly difficult. From the 7th to 8th, the difficulty may not be as jarring as from the 6th to 7th. However, it was still definitely more than from the 5th to 6th. Trying the 8th level at Universe Level 9, you are indeed exceptional. Right now, in the Virtual Universe Company Universe level, there's only one who has passed the 8th level. The blue armored man stood on the dark cloud shuttle, his eyes smiling behind the mask. Receive this. Rumble. The blue armored man's dark golden long rod shot out 10 million gold lights. Luo Feng did exactly the same thing, as simultaneously, countless little golden blades shot in all directions, immediately connecting with the space and gold laws. The land and skies changed in color, and in an instant the entire surroundings were filled with blade energy. Still the same 6th level, own world. Rumble. The blue armored man controlled his blade world and violently smashed over. Immediately Luo Feng's side began to crumble and split apart. The blue armored man's blade world, however, was still growing. Not good. Luo Feng's expression changed. So, he became a beam of light, wielding the blood shadow blade and rushing at the enemy. Key. A dark golden blade energy formed right before his eyes and pierced right through his head. Luo Feng lost, the 8th level, failure. I actually lost like that. Luo Feng sat in his study, still shocked from before. According to the information I've seen, this should be the Blade World's omnipresent level. Nanshan Armament's 6th level, Blade World was a very terrifying attack. Just like the first level, forming one golden blade, up till 9. The Blade World too had different levels. Luo Feng was currently only at the start of controlling it, and was able to condense one thread of the blade energy. He also had to be in close range to the enemy to do it, because as he got further away, the control would weaken. He still couldn't control it at will. However, the 8th level opponent did it easily. He gathered his blade energy in an instant and killed Luo Feng. One had to reach a level of control of the blade world where one could easily do what he wanted, to make the blade energy omnipresent. The reason for my failure is due to the blade energy of the opponent being omnipresent, and I couldn't even defend. Even though he had passed the 7th level, he wasn't proud at all, but continued his studies as per usual. Virtual Universe Heavenly Bridge. Watchman Bevan stared wide-eyed, muttering, "The humans of the universe have trillions of races. I've already seen many geniuses. This Luo Feng, however, he actually exceeded Bolin. Bolin's talent was incredibly shocking to countless people before. Interesting, this is getting interesting." After which, Bevan sent out the news of Luo Feng completing the 7th level to the people involved, also sending it out to all Absolute Beginning and Primal Region members. Yuxiang Mountain, Primal Region, Long Yun's training grounds. In the vast training grounds, Long Yun knelt on the floor, smashing fists after fist against the hollow ground. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The ground shook and his expression was heavy. Every hit smashed the ground more, until a crater was formed. I said before that I would return proudly to Swelling Water Universe country. I said that I would become an absolute warrior in the universe. I said that I would always remain within the primal region. Long Yun gritted his teeth. His eyes were filled with veins. Why, back then Luo Feng and I weren't too different in levels. However, right now I just passed the 5th level, and he's already passed the 7th. I won't accept it. I won't accept it. Long Yun grit his teeth. Calm, I need to remain calm. He closed his eyes and muttered softly, "Yes, one step at a time. I cannot let him affect my emotions. If I am distracted, I'm bound to fail. I need to remain calm. Long Yun was a very low-profile person, yet no one truly dared look down on him. He was silent. He had been alone all this while. In his genius competition batch, his talent may have ranked only 20th or 30th, but his improvement speed was just as fast as Wooka's. Similarly, within the primal region, Bolin was in his villa. Bolin wielded the blood blade in his hand, and he casually swung it about. However, he suddenly frowned and gently tapped the screen before him, and a mail opened. Luo Feng successfully passed the 7th level. Bolin gently read it out, after which he completely froze. Pa! The blood blade fell onto the floor. The crash actually awoke Bolin suddenly. He passed. He surpassed me. Bolin didn't even care about the blood blade on the ground, silently walking into his living quarters and into his study. He sat crossed-legged and stared at the photo hanging on the wall. It was of an old man teaching a youth. He sat silently. Not a sound was muttered. There was a very crowded spot in the absolute beginning region. The arena. The area was a public arena where geniuses would often gather to spar against each other. Even wagering on the matches, naturally both sides would wager on their fights. After all, the deaths in the virtual universe were fake, and no one dared bet too much on others. Your Majesty, I think you should give up. Your Majesty Wooka, you've already lost 8 matches today. Any more, you'll still end up losing. A group of universe-level absolute, beginning members watching the matches mocked and laughed. In the arena, Wooka was lying flat in the corner of the arena. His head was filled with blood, as he lay there breathing heavily.
"Shut up, all of you!" he roared fiercely. He stood up abruptly as fresh blood stained his face red. He stared hard at the group of spectators below the arena. "I'm not dead yet." After which he stared at the distant youth with silver-white scales on his face. That youth snorted coldly. "Your Majesty, you've already lose 8 consecutive matches, I think you should just leave." "Bullshit!" Wooka roared. "Rumble!" With a stomp, his entire being rushed straight against that youth, closing in until there was only 10 left. In his hands, 2 short axes appeared. He waved one of them and swung it directly at the youth. Huff! The youth with the silver-white scales immediately dodged and left 100 images. With a rumble, he immediately grabbed one of Wooka's arms and swung him around, smashing him straight into the ground. "Get lost!" Wooka's other axe immediately slashed right through his own captured arm, and he flung that axe straight at the youth, causing his expression to suddenly change as he dodged as fast as lightning. However, there was a slash wound left on his chest already, as fresh blood flowed. "Ha ha 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 ha!" Wooka stood there, his left arm grabbing the axe. Fresh blood flowing from his broken right arm, yet he laughed loudly. He held the axe and pointed with his left hand at the youth. "Moe Lin, didn't you proudly declare like an idiot before that I wouldn't be able to even touch you, haha?" The youth gritted his teeth, staring at Wooka. "You madman!" "Haha, madman, Luo Feng of our absolute beginning 3 heroes is the true madman. I cannot compare to him." Wooka laughed loudly, after which he turned to face the group below. He pointed at them. "All of you listen, the 8 of us are new here. Haven't you all just trained a few thousand years more than us? What's there to be proud of? Yet all of you are so arrogant, saying I, Wooka, cannot even hurt any one of you? I've only just passed the 5th level and you've all passed the 6th. Don't look down on us new people." After he finished, he jumped straight off the arena. The group at the side of the arena, there were 8 that were gathered. The leader was a man in a silver-gray long robe. He said coldly, "Wooka is indeed a Manka warrior, intrepid. However, newbies are still newbies. During this qualification battle, all 8 of you are entering the land and sky region. Only about 10 of the members in that region have reached the 6th level. The group of universe-level geniuses all received a mail simultaneously. "We've all received something. Who sent it? Open it." The group of senior universe-level members in the absolute beginning region all opened the mail. "What, 7th level? Luo Feng? It's Luo Feng of the 8 newbies?" Many of the geniuses couldn't help but get shocked. The 6th to 7th level was too difficult. Even though they were geniuses that had trained for thousands of years, only 5 of them managed to pass the 7th. The rest were still stuck on the 6th. Luo Feng. Wooka, who was just about to leave, heard, quickly opening the mail and reading the contents. He immediately stared with glee and surprise. following which he pointed at the group of seniors and laughed loudly. "You bunch of bastards, have you seen it? What a genius is, what a true genius is. What about us newbies? We've only trained 100 years, what about it? Yet we are able to pass the 7th level, what about it? Haha, you all better remember the name Luo Feng. He's one of the 3 heroes of the absolute beginning region." Wuka smiled wide. The group of seniors all went silent. Luo Feng. The silver-gray robed man squinted his eyes, glancing at Wuka, who was wielding the blood-stained axe and leaving. "To be able to pass the 7th level, I have to check him out properly. Our attempt to rush into the primal region this time. This Luo Feng has already become a threat." The Honor Secret region of the Universe Mercenary Alliance was akin to the Virtual Universe Company's Primal Region and Absolute Beginning regions, a secret region which was excavated and remodeled. Honor Secret region, there was a desolate large planet. It was called Hell Arena. A skinny wolf-like man with yellow fur and green eyes gazed into a distance while standing on a stone. Suddenly he frowned, his brown eyes gleaming green. "Luo Feng? This new batch is pretty impressive. However, the slot for the primal region is mine.